What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we got a big update on Op-06. We got some very cool stuff, which is coming around for Op-06, and we might as well start off with probably the coolest thing, although there is an argument that the next thing I'm going to show you is the coolest thing, but I'm showing you this first of all. It's Buggy. Now, something about this makes me really happy. Okay, lots of things about this make me really happy. Now, what we've got here is the first special rare that is being shown off from Op-06. So, this is Buggy. Here's the thing, though. It's Buggy kind of throwing around gold and jewels and sitting on chests and, really celebrating with a very large pile of treasure. Why is that amusing to me? Well, let's go back to the description we got of the special rares. Now, admittedly, this is from the distributor website. It's not from the official website, so as always, chance that it's good. We know it's good by now. The thing is, the SP cards in this pack feature designs that capture a snapshot of various characters' daily lives. Well, Buggy's daily life is sitting around on a giant pile of treasure, throwing it around and celebrating. I kind of hope that it is, honestly. But this is so weird to me that this is Buggy's everyday life. That amuses me greatly. Of course, this is the level of special rare we're going to be seeing in this set. And I, for one, I'm just into it. I think this is brilliant. This is actually a reprint, we should say, of the Buggy from Op-03, which is a decent card, which has seen a bunch of play. It can be KO'd by slash attribute characters. That's not generally the reason we play it. But on play, look at 5 cards on the top of your deck, find a red event, add it to your hand, put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. We've seen this teched into a bunch of decks. Now, I do think it's also kind of relevant if we compare the artwork of the regular and the special here. We do have the regular sitting on a chair with treasure around, and then the special kind of celebrating in the middle of the treasure. Are we going to see that same level of connection between the regular art and the special for the other specials in the set? The answer is we don't know. We do know there's going to be 6 specials. That's been confirmed, which is like, well, no, it's on the distributor website, but we know it's real. Come on, we know that's legit. But it is, just kind of cool to see them so similar but so different. And of course, nice that Buggy was a just uncommon card, didn't have an alternate art or anything in the set. Being celebrated as a special is really awesome. Of course, if we have a look at the past couple of sets, we can really see the evolution of these special cards. Of course, back in Op-01 and Op-02, no such thing as special cards. They came around in Op-03 and they started off as wanted posters, which was cool. We liked these wanted posters. They were really nice. Op-04, they immediately pivoted and gave us, I don't even really know what to call these, portraits? Maybe? I don't know. They look cool though. Big fan. In Op-05, which obviously I'm going to show you in Japanese because it's not been released in English yet, we went to, I don't even know what to call these, honestly, but they're these weird kind of fancy background ones. I don't know how to describe them, alright, but they're all fairly similar. They all look kind of amazing. So for the first 3 sets, we had these special cards, all of which, remember, are reprints. All these specials are reprints, often from previous sets, although in Op-05 they did bring us Enel, but because the first Enel was from Op-05, it gave us actually a special version of the Enel from Op-05. That was weird, but it was the only way to do a special Enel, and clearly they wanted to. Outside of that, they've all been reprints, I believe. So we had 3 very different ones, and then we have a similar thing here. Now, you can imagine they're all going to look fairly similar-ish in terms of style, because we've seen that in the previous sets, but this is going to be a wait-and-see kind of thing. We've seen Buggy. The Buggy is awesome. I already love this, and there's going to be more, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot wait to see all the rest. The other thing they went and showed us were the full arts, the alternate arts, call it what you will, of the leader Perona and Vinsmoke Reiju. And these are extremely cool, although they are going to start looking a little bit familiar at this point. I mean, for me, I want the Perona. I was asking for a Perona leader for a while, and then we finally got one, and it made me very, very happy indeed. So this is kind of awesome. And we can do a similar thing here where we kind of track back through the history of these alternate art, these full art, these special art, call them what you will, leaders. And, you know, back in OP01, we had the Manga Heads just on, well, what is the One Piece TCG background at this stage. So that was what we had back in OP01. But then in OP02, we had the same thing. The Manga Heads. Just what we got. Including Smoker, who is awesome. Then in OP03, they really mixed things up. And they gave us very, very, very different ones indeed. And again, these ones, I don't know exactly how to describe them. You can see on the screen they are very, very different to what we got back in OP01 and OP02. A big change. A lot of people didn't like it. Some people did. I'll leave it up to you. But in OP04, we hit the jackpot. I mean, look at Rebecca and look at Vivi from OP04. And I'm extremely lucky. I opened a Japanese box of OP04 and I pulled the Rebecca. I opened an English box and I pulled the Vivi. I was delighted in both instances. But what we've got here is basically the leader with their crew behind. Although I still take exception to Queen. Because why does Queen have Kaido behind? That's weird. I don't really get this, but hey-ho, maybe I wasn't paying enough attention in the manga, but I'm pretty sure I was. But as far as I'm concerned, the OP04 was where they nailed it. They were the alternate art leaders, which, as far as I'm concerned, are by far the best. But they lasted for one set, and then we got to OP05, and we went back to the Manga Heads. And I think the Manga Heads are pretty cool, and I very much want Bello Betty, my favourite leader from OP05, by a bit of a margin. Most people are going to be after the Luffy, let's be honest, but I want my Bello Betty. I think she's the coolest leader from OP05. Early results from Japan do not back that up, but that's what I want. That's what I'm all about. So, we're now back with the Manga Heads for the second set in a row. And it's worth noting that when we started off, we had 2 sets worth of Manga Heads, and then we pivoted. Could that happen again? Well, I mean, of course it could happen again. Will it happen again? Nobody knows. That's not really the point. The point is, I am loving all of this, and I think the Manga Heads look really cool. I mean, they've all looked really good, honestly. I don't think we've had bad alternate art leaders yet. I think my favourites are still the ones from OP04. I've been very clear about this. But, look, I'm very excited to play Perona in OP06. So, give it a Manga Head version here. Yeah. Sounds good to me, ladies and gentlemen. Sounds good to me. Oh, as a side note here, we should probably actually talk about what they do. Perona, I mean, look, I asked for a Perona leader, okay? And then we got a Perona leader. So, I'm gonna try and make this work, no matter how good the card actually is. But I do think the card is actually pretty gosh darn good. We've got Activate Main. Once per turn, you can choose one of the following things. Either rest one of your opponent's 4 cost or lower characters, or give one of your opponent's characters -1 cost for the turn. Of course, it's one of those dual colour leaders. We got black and green, and very clearly the resting is the green skill, and the reducing cost is the black skill. This makes me kind of happy. Honestly, what a lot of people seem to be loving about this is just the automatic, just rest. Rest one of your opponent's 4 cost or lower characters. You don't have to pay or attach any Dawn or discard a card from your hand or do anything else. You just rest one, and that seems kind of cool. Maybe that's enough, honestly. Maybe that's enough. Now, Vinsmoke Reiju, it's the only Germa 66 leader we've got. So a lot of people are liking this by virtue of, if you want to play Germa 66, this is the leader to go for. But there is a decent little skill here as well, which we quite like. What we've got here is, once during your turn, when a Don card goes back into your Don deck, draw a card. It's decent. And there's lots of, obviously, we've seen some Germa 66 cards where the cards go back into your deck, and then you draw one, and job's a good one. I really like this. I like that we have the Manga Head. I know some people are sad we're back to the Manga Heads. I'm personally not. I think they're awesome. But I will say, maybe Manga Heads isn't really the thing to call them anymore because, of course, you can see artists are credited on these. Whereas, you look at Smoker, the early one, there's no credited artist because it's just it's Oda's art from the manga popped on here. Whereas here, they've actually got new artists actually doing the art. So, look, I'm going to leave that one up to you, all right? All I know is I think they're cool. I love the Buggy, and now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about the Manga Heads, or whatever you want to call them, returning for OP-06. Tell me what you think about the special rare Buggy. Tell me which other characters you want to get a special rare, like Smoker, for instance. That's who I want to see. But I want to hear from you guys, so go nuts in the comment section, but be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, all kinds of fun things. But by far, the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.